things theology, all things theology. We chop it up properly, without an apology. Gotta get doxology to God hollow, because this is how we do it at All Things Theology.
Yo, grace and peace, guys. Welcome back to an episode of All Things Theology. It's your boy Kdub, and today we're going to talk about Jo Luehmann and ENM. But before we do that, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not, and as always, click that notification bell so you can be aware when I drop content. Let me start off by saying this, that it's my assertion that Jo Luehmann is an evil woman. Yes. Before I elaborate that, let me share a verse that the Bible says, "Woe to those who call good evil and evil good." Jo Luehmann promotes something known as ENM. Now you may be saying, what in the world is ENM? I've never heard of this. Yes, after having the conversation with her, a few people sent me some things I didn't even know she taught that I found quite interesting. But one of them was ENM. ENM stands for Ethical Non-Monogamy, which marriage.com defines ethical non-monogamy as describes the practice in which people step outside of their primary relationship for sex or romance. Still, instead of this behavior occurring in the form of lying or cheating, it occurs with consent from their primary partner. It is sometimes referred to as consensual non-monogamy. All of those involved in the relationship or relationships are aware of the non-monogamous relationship, and they may even embrace it. Verywellmind.com states that ethical non-monogamy, ENM, is the practice of taking part in romantic relationships that are not completely exclusive between two people. Now, what could be more unbiblical, unchristian, than the idea that the Bible actually promotes, or someone could be a Christian and hold to this idea? Jesus was very clear on his view of marriage in Matthew 19. It's man, woman, the two come together, not three, not four. Matter of fact, to go outside of the marriage is called adultery, biblically speaking, fornication, immorality. Yet Jo promotes this. I've never met a person who literally on every point of the Bible, every point of Christian teaching, Jo rejects. And just because your partner, your spouse, right, says it's okay for you to go out on them, right, in a adulterous relationship, let's be honest, doesn't mean it's not adultery, doesn't mean it's not cheating. Just because you're open and honest about your sin doesn't make it not sinful. You know, in my day, I'm still a young fellow, I like to think, we call this cheating. Yeah, we call this stepping out on your partner, your spouse, being unfaithful, but it's very clear that Jo and her husband has no regard for the Bible's teaching. Matter of fact, they state that the things we're teaching, right, the purity, the faithfulness, when it comes to this, when it comes to a faithful lifestyle between your partner, even, in your singleness, to stay pure, they disregard. They hate the Bible's teaching on purity. They make that very clear.
Parents, and because we talk to people all the time, and because we wanted to change the chip in our head that naturally equates sex to something bad unless you're married, which is not the case at all. So that's what we're talking about today.
And when we're talking about sex, we're talking about all of it. We're talking about all of it when it comes to sex and yourself, masturbation. We're talking about stuff like that has this perception that is very negative, at least for me, and I know for my wife, that we were raised up and taught, even after being raised, that it's a very negative thing. And so we actually want to shed a positive light on it, because we don't think it's supposed to be a negative thing, and we don't think it's supposed to be something that shames people and guilts people and makes people feel awkward how it's done, or whatever. It could be impure. I hate the word impure, honestly.
I do too, actually. He's right.
Because we give people the sense that they're going to be pure.
And it's so silly, because we tell them, don't have sex, don't have sex, don't have sex, but lie to yourself, repress yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, hurt your own self, do whatever it takes to just be like, no, I'm good. Like, those things are more harmful to a teenager, to a young person, to a adult than actually having sex would be, that actually masturbating would be.
Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Matthew 5:8. So flee youthful passions, pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace, along with those who call on the Lord from a pure heart. 2 Timothy 2:22. And everyone who thus hopes in him purifies himself as he is pure. 1 John 3:3. You know, the Bible speaks a lot about purity, and much more could be said about this issue of purity. But notice what was said by them. They hate purity. They hate the word pure. I mean, conclusion is you hate what the Bible says, because it talks about a lot about purity. Much more could be said like on that. Notice a few things that was said where one, the issue of they said it's not a bad thing or not sin to have sex before marriage. The Bible rejects that teaching. I mean, that is literally adultery. It's literally fornication. I'm sorry. It's literally sexual morality. The issue of masturbation. What else was taught? So many biblical ideas. This is why I read in the beginning, woe to those who call evil good and good evil. The very teaching of the Bible, she says, that's bad. And now create the standard, the opposite teachings of the Bible, right? The negative, she considers those actually good and helpful and says, pursue those things. This is why I said Jo Luehmann is not only unbiblical, she is an evil woman. Evil, the epitome of an evil woman. Telling you to pursue things that the Bible says do not pursue. Now, I did say I was going to demonstrate that Jo promotes ENM, ethical non-monogamy. So let me do that here. Let me put a screenshot on the screen here. Notice what this is saying. She responds to something. Let me read some of their, just the necessary part. They tag Jo and say, my nesting partner and I have been adventuring in ENM for just over a year. So encouraged by your openness. So I think they're quoting Jo. And so if that is true, Jo and her husband has been seeking ENM to have an additional partner cheating into their relationship, having more than two parties in the relationship. We're going to see how that's true here in a second, but Jo goes on to respond to this. She says, I honestly believe that until we normalize ethical non-monogamy, ENM, we won't see full liberation for all. So having multiple partners is actually seen as a good, freeing, liberating thing in Jo's ideology. She goes on to state, compulsory monogamy is oppressive. Notice this. This is why I said that verse, calling good evil and evil good. ENM is described as something that's freeing, while compulsory monogamy is oppressive. Right? Let me discuss another screenshot here. This is her responding to someone else. She says, yes, 100% this. My husband and I have been navigating ENM, and those exact words have been uttered. I'm feeling insecure. Can we talk about this? And often it's led to healing from the insecure party, where we recognize a primal womb there. It's beautiful. The bad pastor responds, says, I think this is a skill that ENM definitely fortified for me, especially once I realized that people are choosing to be with me and not be stuck with me, therefore deceive me. Jo responds, yes, so much this. They are free to be with me and don't have to be guilted in staying with me due to any contract, commitment, obligation. It's a choice. Changes everything. Well, very strange ideology that Jo has, to where these issues of commitment, obligation are bad for her. It's bad. The vows you said, for better or for worse. No. I can leave anytime I want. I can have another partner if I so choose it. Jo would say. Like I said, she despises. Like I said, I don't know if, I've met anyone who despises the biblical teachings more than Jo does. and promote something as sinful, wicked as E&M. And guess what? To those who agree with me, it doesn't make you oppressive because you agree that your partner shouldn't have the right to step out on you. It's a good thing to be faithful to your partner, to be with one partner. You know, guys, like I said, sometimes I'm lost for words from the heresy that comes out of this woman's mouth. But like I said, Jo needs to be warned about, and that's why I made this video. You know, I might be firm, I may be passionate, I may be very straightforward, maybe than other times I am. But Jo needs to be warned about. She should not be in any Christian circle. If you believe the Bible, Jo should not have any kind of influence, because we see the unbiblical teachings that flow out of her mouth or on her Twitter page. But I hope that you will help me in warning against Jo. Stand firm, brothers, sisters. Stand firm in the faith. Love God. Love His word. Hope this video was helpful. Till the next time, guys. Grace and peace.